Yeah, what an entertaining Champions League match day one with a whole lot of controversies. Personally, I didn't watch much of the football, other games, but I've watched Arsenal, I watched Real Madrid, and I watched Tottenham versus Villarreal. And I'll say I was very happy today with my team, just a little bit disappointed with the missed chances. And I was, as I was saying, I was expecting Marseille to put on this kind of performance against Real Madrid because they have the team. Because in my previous prediction video, I said that I wish even few players would have been there to put in extra effort, but then they were still going to win. But to me, there's a whole lot of uh, things to unpack during this game, and I think we'll go deep dive into the game. Okay, let's start with the Arsenal game. As expected, Arsenal won the game, and I'm not that much shocked though because I was expecting it. Despite the fact that they had to struggle until the dying minutes of the game for them to come in with the help of Martinelli and Trossard as substitute to come on and come and help. I wasn't that much surprised by the win though, but I was just surprised by the late goals. Today, Athletic Club wasn't that bad defensively. They were very good until the dying minute. I think some few changes for their side uh, actually made a difference in Arsenal coming back to win the game. For the Arsenal game, I'll give my man of the match to Declan Rice. I think from the beginning of the game, he had a yellow card, but he maintained his composure, wasn't going in for silly tackles, wasn't making poor decisions. He maintained it for the entirety of the game, and I'm very impressed because of the position he's playing. I was thinking the coach would have substituted him earlier on. I haven't, even with him scoring two free kick against us. I'm much more impressed with this his performance more because we're looking at Super Scores rating. You can see even with the yellow card, he has 7.1 rating. With the yellow card, he still has 7.1 rating. I think he's my man of the match. Yeah, I might not like Arteta's style of coaching very much. It is not for me to decide for Arsenal fans who they should choose as a coach. But I think there's one thing that Arsenal was lacking years ago. I think that has never been a problem again. Their defensive structure is very strong, very very strong. It reminds me of Atletico Madrid back to Chelsea where John Terry. They have that kind of defensive structure, reminding me back of such teams. I like it because, like I said earlier, Gabriel with some silly mistakes during the game, but he's still solid at the back. Their defensive structure with the keeper David Raya, I think that's why I'm saying it. Arsenal should go far in the Champions League and possibly win the Champions League. I think the only issue now I feel they will have to solve is the attacking aspect, their goal scoring. I think they have everywhere covered. It's only left with the goal scoring. Let's go deep dive into the Tottenham versus Villarreal game. I think Villarreal's problem is goal scoring in this game. I think they did everything right, but they were not able to find the net. Looking at their game, I think Tottenham was more defensively good. Without, I think, if not for the old goal, this game should have ended in a draw. Looking at both sides, if it wasn't for the own goal, this game should have ended in a draw. I'm very impressed with Villarreal, and I'm hoping they might go far into the knockout stages and see how they perform well against some of the big teams in the Champions League. And with Tottenham, uh, for me, I'm very happy though, but I'm not very happy with the performance. I'm very, very, very happy that Tottenham won. I predicted Tottenham to win, and I was wishing Tottenham to win, but I'm not actually impressed with Tottenham that much because the way I was expecting them to put in effort into the game, I actually didn't see it, and some few players I think impressed me. Van de Ven from the defensive side was superb. Van de Ven was very good. But at the end of the day, it's 3 points on the table, and they've taken a 3 point out of this game. So I think congratulations to Tottenham Hotspurs. For me, Van de Ven would have been my man of the match. But watching from SofaScore, I think they gave it to Pedro, who was also very good. But Van de Ven had a yellow card, and his performance was way high. But I think Mohamed Kudus was also good today. He was holding Villarreal at bay with his ball handling techniques, because I feel like to be able to hold on to the 1-0 lead, they needed a certain player to hold on to the ball to at least affect or distract Villarreal's play. And I think Mohamed Kudus did that very, 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 very well, taking on players, despite the fact that he didn't go through most at times, but he didn't stop. He kept on going and going and going and going. So I'm very, very, very much impressed with the game, but not with the scoreline. I was expecting more from both sides. But congrats to Tottenham for winning the game. Looking at the other games, PSV versus Union, Benfica versus Qarabağ, and Juventus game, I didn't watch that match very much. I would have loved to watch the Juventus versus Dortmund game. With the halftime being 0-0 and the scoreline ending in 4-4 with 8 goals in the second half, that game would have been a must watch. But I'm a Real Madrid fan, and I would watch my game for 90 minutes. But I think I watched a little bit of the PSV game, and I was very, very much disappointed in PSV. PSV work the ball very well, get to the 18 box, and it seems like they've forgotten what to do when they get close to the 18 box. You could see in the first half, you could see a glimpse of them trying to score goals, but it was you could see from the game that Union were very clinical, perfect. If Union is going to pick up the form I knew they had years ago, the small teams in the UEFA Champions League, they will be meeting. They should be careful, because if they are able to go away to PSV and win 3-1, teams should be careful of Union, because they had done it before. I think it's 2 or 3 years ago in the Europa League. And if they go on this trajectory, I think they would be able to do something. But the most disappointing team, Benfica, being at home. I know you are struggling. I know Benfica is struggling now. They've not been the team of themselves 2 years ago. But then, if it was to be, if you were to be playing against a big team like Barcelona, Arsenal, Madrid, I will understand you losing at home. But to Qarabağ, despite the fact that both of you had to be in the playoff, this is showing that Qarabağ is a better team, because going down 2-0 and they coming back to win 3-2 at your home. I think I know of a sports podcaster named More Skills. Skills is not going to have a good day today. Skills is going to cry, and instead of him bashing his players, he's going to turn onto Madrid's players and discuss about only Madrid today. That's what I'm thinking he's going to do. Now let's talk about my team. Um, Congratulations to Marseille for putting up a very wonderful match. I think they've given Xabi Alonso a job to do. I think there are still loopholes in the team. I think there are still there are still loopholes in it. I think we need to do a lot in the midfield. I don't know how we'll structure when Jude Bellingham comes into the midfield, but I think Valverde and Tchouaméni are still struggling in the midfield. I don't know. I think I heard during the weekend Valverde complaining to be tired. I don't know how true the information is, but I think he's not moving as we used to see him last season. He is not actually moving that way, and I think one of the players who has not been playing and got the opportunity today, Rodrigo, I think placed in a very good performance today. He caused the first penalty where Kylian Mbappé finished it wonderfully. But even both penalties, I still believe he was lucky. If not, Rulli would have saved both penalties. I'm impressed with Rulli today. He has actually saved uh, Marseille from conceding multiple goals. Because if you watch the number of shot attempts at goal against them, I think he had actually saved Marseille from conceding a whole lot of goals today. Again, looking at the number of shots Marseille had to face against Real Madrid, looking at the number of shots they have to face, I think Madrid had total number of shots of 28, 15 on target. So for me, that's why the fact that we won. My man of the match is really the goalkeeper for Marseille. He has been very good today, and Madrid has not been clinical today. With the opportunities, Adagula, and especially Franco Mastantuano. I don't blame him though. I'm blaming Alonso. I feel like he has the talent, but I don't believe you should put him in the fray because I feel like with the missed chance, I don't know. I don't know how mentally strong he is, but I'm thinking it will start to have an effect on him. He wasn't that good in the second half, but he was very good in the first half. But with that missed opportunity, I think he has covered his performance in the first half. But I'll still give it to him. He has the potential to be a great Madrid player. But I feel like Alonso is pushing. I'm not the coach though, but I feel like he's putting pressure on him to perform, and which I don't actually support. I don't actually support. Um, Another issue is injuries with Real Madrid. I think we are going back to last season where we started mounting injuries with Arnold going on injury and Carvajal receiving a red card. I'm wondering who is going to play that position coming up next game. I'm hoping with the next game coming up, I'm hoping Xavi plays a three-back formation. I'm just hoping that next game in the Champions League, he plays a three-back formation where Valverde will drop more wider to help the team. I'm just hoping he plays 3-4-3. I'm just hoping he does that because right now, for the next Champions League game, we do not have any right back to support Real Madrid. And I think that's going to affect us very much. But for Xavi, who I know is very good at three-back formation, I don't think that should be a problem or affect him very much with the upcoming matches where we do not have any right back. Another player I wish Alonso would give more opportunities to, but I'm hoping he keeps his head down, put in the work in training, is Raul Asensio. Looking at our squad, I think he'll be a starter in the near future. Raul Asensio, I think we can pair him with Dean. I believe with the way he plays and the way Dean plays, I think they'll match. Dean is a calm-headed guy, and he's a rough, rush-in tackler, and I think it will actually help. It will actually help him a lot. But I'm hoping he gets much playing time as time goes on, because we need him a lot. He's very good. He has shown to be a kind of player we need in the future last season, and I don't think that should be a problem. Now let's talk about the poor officiating. For the violent conduct on Carvajal, I blame Carvajal. He fell for the bait. I don't think it was anything serious, but he fell for the bait. As a professional player, I know emotions, football runs with emotions. But as a professional footballer, as at that your age, I don't think it should be. You should react to such things. So I think it's a well-deserved red card. I really think it's a well-deserved red card. But where we were watching the football, I was telling them I don't like this red card. You understand? I wish they would have given him a caution by yellow card, because I'm feeling like, because ever since the red card, the officiating has gone really bad. The game has actually flowed onto the red card. Some poor tackles, but I think it was overlooked to let the fluidity of the game flow. But after the red card, I realized no, with this red card, the referee will try to justify or prove to the other team that when you also do it, you would receive a card. So I think the second penalty, to me, I don't know how the rule works, but I'll come back to this if I read the rules and see what is actually saying about the rules. But I think this is not supposed to be a penalty. The second one is not supposed to be a penalty. I think we are lucky to escape with this win, with this penalty. I don't believe it to be a penalty, because I feel like the defender cannot do anything to prevent his hand from touching the ball. So I don't believe this is a penalty. I'm a Real Madrid fan, but you need to be sincere. This is not a penalty. This is not a penalty. But overall, as I said before, Marseille will put in the pressure. They'll put in everything to make sure they get a draw here. But I know we'll win the game, as I predicted. So, as a Madrid fan, I'm happy that we won, but I'm not happy with the performance. I felt we wasted too much chances and we could have buried majority of them to win the game. So, until then, we'll see you tomorrow for the next half of the games. And I'll be back here to give a breakdown of the games.